Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, I'm going to talk about power of a set, and basically it is defined as if you have set A, then power set of A is the set that contains all possible subsets of A, including the empty set and set A itself. So power set of A is usually, sorry, power set of A is usually denoted as this one. So you use this symbol here. We have P that represents power for set A. Then how can we determine the number of elements in this power set? Well, the number of elements can be determined if you consider this formula here, which is 2 to the power of this guy here, and this guy is actually the number of elements in set A. So this is something that you have seen in the previous video, and you can see that this is actually the size of set A or cardinality of set A. Alright, as an example here, let's say we have set S, which consists of 3 elements, X, Y, and Z, and we are going to find the number of elements in power of set S, and you're going to list all the elements accordingly. Now, I hope you can see that we have 3 elements, so therefore the number of elements in set S is 3, and this, like I said earlier, is the size of a set or cardinality of set S. Yeah. Therefore, using this formula, because you want to determine the number of elements in the power set, so that is 2 to the power of 3, which is equal to 8. So 8 here is going to be the number of elements available in power set of S. And when you want to list down the power set, you have to include empty set and set the original set as well. So here the power set of S will contain all the subsets of S, including the empty set and the original set as well. Yeah. So therefore, if you list the elements according to the order, you can see that, so this one is the empty set. Okay, empty set. Apart from this notation, you can also use this notation to denote the empty set. It doesn't matter, either this one or that one. And then we have the original set itself. So this is the original set itself, X, Y, and Z. And then the rest of the elements here are just the subset, all possible subsets of S. So we can say that we can get just X, or just Y, or just Z. And it can also be the combination of 2 elements such as XY or XZ and YZ. And you have to make sure that all the elements here are, the total number of elements here is going to be equal to 8. Okay, right. Let's try and figure out how to find the answers to all these 4 questions here. And the answers are actually already given here. I'm just going to maybe walk you through it, and hopefully you'll be able to understand better after listening to the explanation. Yeah, right. So here we have set S, and there's only one element in set S. So for that one here, so we have the number of elements. The number of elements is just 1. Therefore, if you find 2 to the power of 1, this is equal to 2. So this is going to be the number of elements in power set of S. And remember, if you want to list the elements in that power set, it's going to include empty set and the original set as well. Yeah. So if I list the number of elements in that power set of S, First of all, it's going to be the empty set. I'm just going to write down here the empty set. And recall that we only have two elements, so which means that we only have empty set and the original set, which is this guy over here. So this is the original set. So I'm going to write down A, and that's it. Close bracket. So open bracket and close bracket. Yeah. So we've got two elements in that power set of S. Okay, so now let's move on to this part. Question B. So for question B here, we've got two elements in the original set. So we have ns is equal to 2. Therefore, 2 to the power of 2 is going to be 4. So this is the number of elements in power set of this one here, this one. Okay. And again, if you want to list the elements of the power set, it's going to look like this. First of all, it always include the empty set, so I'm going to write that down first, and then I know there is one space, another space, and then I'm going to write down the original set here, which is A and B, and then close the bracket. So this bracket here is closed. So this is the opening bracket, this is the closing bracket. Yeah. Next, so I know I need to fill up, there are two more spaces here inside, and we are going to consider all possible subsets. So it's going to be either A or it's going to be just B. Yeah. So that's how we got the answer to the second question. Okay, now let's try and move on to the third question, which is this one. So as here is the empty set. Okay, that means there is no element in that set. So for question C, ns, there is no element, is 0. Therefore 2 to the power of 0 is going to be equal to 1. So this is the number of elements in the power set of S. Okay, and since we all know that there's only one element here, and that element is just going to be an empty set. It's going to be the original, which is this one. Yeah, it's going to be original, which is this one, or an empty set. It's the same thing. Yeah, so that's all. That's the answer. Okay, right, now let's move on to the last question. I need some space, so I'm just going to erase this part over here. Okay, I'm just going to erase this part. All right, okay, so in this example, the last example here, you can see that this set has an element, two elements. So this is the first element and this is the second element. We got two elements here and they are separated by this comma over here. Okay, so you can think of it as whatever, you know, this is just an empty set and this is another empty set, curly bracket. So just two elements. Okay, for simplicity we can just consider this set as having two different elements here. Yeah, right, so for question D, the number of elements in that set is going to be 2, and therefore 2 to the power of 2 is 4, and this is the number of elements that you have to come up with in the power set. Okay, so when you write down the elements in the power set, always start with the empty set first. So this is going to be the empty set, and then I know I've got 4 places that I need to fill up with, and this is going to be the second space, the third space, and the last one here is going to be the original set, which is this one. So I'm just going to write down the whole thing here, And just be careful with the curly brackets, it's quite a lot. So we have this one, just write down the whole thing. So, and then this one, okay, and then curly bracket, yeah, and then another curly bracket. So this curly bracket here, so this curly bracket here is the closing bracket, which is paired with this opening bracket, yeah. And then you can see for this one, this comes straight from this part, the original set. Okay, so now we are going to find possible subset. Okay, so possible subset is going to be either just this element, so this is the first element, or this one here, the second element, this one. Okay, so we got curly bracket, and this is the first element, so the first element, and then we got another curly bracket, and this is the second element. The second element here consists of empty set and another curly bracket. So this is how it looks like. Okay, so I think it can be confusing a bit because of the use of many curly brackets, but you just have to do it systematically and make sure you don't miss any of those. Yeah, all right. If it is god if it is confusing to you, please rewind again this part, and hopefully you'll get it the second time around. Yeah, okay, thank you very much for watching.